All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today we have some alleged Sean O'Malley news, and it's coming from his best friend Henry Cejudo. And I know they had history back in the day, and I think there's still a little tension there because they both come from the same state. And if you remember back when I think it was, I don't remember who O'Malley fought, but Cejudo was in the background. He's like, "Hey, Precious, I love a tuna. I think you absolutely suck." And O'Malley's like, "Is this guy serious?" Like, that was pretty funny to watch. And it sucks that we're not going to get that fight anymore because I think Cejudo said he only wants one more and he's done. And obviously their career trajectories are a lot different. However, I do take what Cejudo's saying seriously just because they come from the same state. And I feel like they know a lot of the same people. They have a lot of mutual friends. And so he was talking on his podcast with Kamaru Usman called Pound for Pound. And let's get into it. So he says, did he formulate his camp correctly? There's a lot of birdies out there. I'm going to say it. And he says, he should work the jiu-jitsu. He's not working his get-up, his stand-up. And that's the thing. How much does Cejudo really know? Like, I'm sure O'Malley's, not leaving any stone unturned. But, yeah. And he says he's not investing in his camp. Meaning, I guess he's not trying to hire people from outside of his gym to come help. And he says all these Arizona kids who have big mouths. And then he says, no, it's true. And then Kamaru starts to push back. He says, I don't think money's an object, which is rightfully so, because obviously O'Malley's been treated fairly well from the UFC, especially for getting this title shot. And I'm sure he's been paid handsomely. And that's the thing. As much as people want to shit on O'Malley, I would say he's probably, the biggest, if not the top 3 names in bantamweight right now. So, I'm sure he's got money. Plus, you see all these videos where he's talking about he's building all these new houses and he has this huge property in Arizona. So, yeah, I doubt money's an issue. And then Cejudo says, no, it shouldn't be an issue for the money. And then Cejudo says maybe he's cheap. He just wants to keep everything in-house. And then Cejudo says, when you do that, shit gets out there. And obviously that's how Cejudo probably found out. And I doubt Cejudo has like a daily, update from Sean O'Malley's camp. But obviously he's hearing that he's not bringing in anybody. And I don't think it's a great look for O'Malley simply because I'm sure you can have people that are really good at wrestling from Arizona to replicate Merab's style. But I feel like it would be a lot different to get someone from Merab's area because not only can they replicate the style, but they can replicate the mentality, the vibe of Merab. And I feel like for Sean O'Malley to get a lot of different looks, especially people from Merab's area, would be a really wise decision. Because a lot of times when these guys get too comfortable at their own gyms, they don't improve as much. And I feel like getting new looks, new faces, it's good to be uncomfortable in these situations because once you get too comfortable and you become the biggest fish in the pond, like I said, your improvement kind of halts. Obviously, you can still be getting better, but I feel like that's the thing, though. To play devil's advocate, a lot of these super gyms, a lot of people don't get enough attention. So I guess there's a fine balance between each, but yeah, I don't know. If this is true, it's not great. And then Cejudo says, listen to me, bet the house on Merab. And yeah, via decision, 50-45. And then Kamaru pushes back. He's like, I think it's going to be an incredible fight. I don't think O'Malley's going to leave any stone unturned, which I totally agree with. I don't think O'Malley's going to half-ass this camp because this is the biggest fight in O'Malley's, I would consider biggest fight in his career because that's the thing. Obviously, in hindsight, if he lost to Aljamain, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal because if you lose to the GOAT, which Aljamain was the GOAT of bantamweight at the time, it's not the biggest deal and he could still rebound. But if he loses this fight to Merab, it'll be devastating because that'll be twice in a row to Merab. And Merab's a very dominant champion. I don't think he's going anywhere. So, he can kiss his title aspirations goodbye. And as I said before, I feel like he would probably move up at that point. Obviously, he could still fight bantamweight contenders, but yeah, for bantamweight title talks, I think he's probably out of it for a while. And yeah, that's why I consider this fight a lot more stakes than his original title fight. But it is what it is. What do I know? And Kamaru says, yeah, he's a sniper and he might be able to shock the world again. And obviously he will be, because Sean O'Malley, no one really considered him having a chance to beat Aljamain. And a lot of people are writing him off against Merab as well. But as much as people want to say, like, oh, improvement in this and O'Malley was injured, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a nightmare matchup for O'Malley. And if he's not bringing in any of these guys from like Georgia or whatever to help him out, that's even a worse look. And especially if Cejudo's right in saying that O'Malley's not training his get-ups and stand-ups with a lot of these guys. I don't know, man. I just really don't like the sound of that. And as an O'Malley fan, I do want him to win, but all signs are pointing the opposite. And I don't dislike Merab at all. It's just I don't love styles that are decision-based. You know what I mean? Like, I get Merab has finishes back in the day, but as of lately, it's always just, 50-45, 50-45. And I've said this before, if you're this dominant either in striking, where it's just like you're battering the guy pillar to post, or if you're a grappler and you're just ragdolling him nonstop, I would like a finish, And I get Merab likes to do a lot of showmanship and kiss O'Malley during their recent fight and all that, but I don't know. I feel like if Merab doesn't finish O'Malley, this will do nothing for his stock, especially as bantamweight champion, because he's already beaten O'Malley decisively. As much as O'Malley wants to dispute that, it is what it is. Like, I rewatched the fight. Merab, like, O'Malley thinks he won. To me, that's not a chance. At best, maybe he would get the 5th round because he did some damage against Merab in the body. But other than that, there's really nothing to score for O'Malley aside from a few knees. And like I said, if Merab just rinse and repeat the same thing and just gets another decision, it's like, okay, like, you've already beat this guy. You did it twice. Cool. And the odds makers don't think that O'Malley's going to win either. And a lot of people don't think he's going to win as well. That's why there's not a lot of hype for this rematch. And yeah, I just feel like Merab definitely needs a finish. And O'Malley, I don't think there's a chance that he's going to get a decision victory. So if anything, like he said, or Kamaru said, he's going to need to snipe him. And Merab has so much energy and his hands are always high up. Whereas for regular fighters, later on in the rounds, your hands kind of drop. You get more lethargic. For some reason, Merab can go 12 rounds, literally unlimited gas tank. And unless O'Malley kind of revamps his approach to the fight, because I wouldn't go headhunting for Merab, at least in the beginning. I feel like you should invest in the body and the calves. But yeah, because that's the only thing he really had success with. And that's the thing. If you want to get Merab tired, definitely target the body, because, as much as Merab is conditioned beyond belief, a human body can only take so much, especially if Sean O'Malley can really sharpen up his body shots and just aim for that liver. You could really get a big reaction to Merab. And yeah, I feel like that's his method to victory. TKO, get to the body, have him go down, maybe a Corey Sandhagen style flying knee. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I'm a Sean O'Malley fan. I'd like to see O'Malley win, but it's unlikely. And hearing this from Cejudo, it's not great. I don't think he's half-assing his camp, but I feel like he could be probably doing a lot better if this is true. And yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, like and subscribe, and we'll find out soon. See you guys next time.